In this tutorial, we focus on the new hairbrushes, added with Prêt-à-Template 4.0 update, demonstrating examples of their application to create hair effects, textures, styles, and cuts, alone or combined with other brushes. Also, we are going to use ready body drawings that are available in our illustrated template section that you can download as well and use for practice or your own projects. First, let's take a look at the brushes. Open the hair icon on the toolkit. Here you'll find 3 brush options: Silky Hair, Wavy Lock, and a Braided Line. You can also change the brush size and opacity in the same window. Silky Hair is a great option for adding soft volume of hair and gradual color transitions. Wavy Lock has a more defined structure, ideal for separate strands of hair and crispy curls. And a Braided Line is a simple solution for a realistic and quick braided effect. In this first example, let's break down a simple and effective process for drawing hair with a soft color transition. Use graphite line pencil to create a sketch, a simple outline, a shape of the hairstyle, and a few general lines. Then pick the silky hairbrush in a main hair color. Size the brush according to the style. Place the strokes along the movement of the strands of hair to create shape and motion. To create a gradual shift of color, we need both Wavy Lock and Silky Hair brushes. First, apply strands of the new color with a Wavy Lock brush as the most prominent accents, and switch to Silky Hair in the same color, gently applying it as a transition. You can add some lighter accents to highlight the hair with the same brush on top. This same process works to the same effect for every view. Let's try to illustrate hair on this male model with fading, the transition from short to long hair. This time, adding a fade in the back with the use of the fabric flow marker in a larger size. Carefully place the color in a transparent way, and use an eraser to create a perfectly clean edge. Then take a color block marker in the same color and cover the center area of hair, avoiding the edges. This is a quick tip to speed up the process for a short and dense hair. Now it's time to use a silky hairbrush to treat the edges. Start applying the strokes from the colored area and move it outwards. This technique helps to blend the harsh colored edge and transform it into realistic base for the hair. Again, follow the movement of the strands with a soft, rounded motion. For more definition, switch to the Wavy Lock and create these separate strands. These straightforward techniques of just a few simple steps can create diverse hair looks. A short pixie cut with finger waves. Use a black pencil for a sketch and a dark gray to color block the shape. Return to black and use a Wavy Lock brush in a small size to refine and build the shape of the edges, along with the shadows on each wave. Then change the color to the lighter hue, depending on the lighting or the hair undertone. And move the same brush along the wave ridges. For a stronger wet effect, you can highlight a few strands with a shade close to white. For this red hair curtain bangs look, we follow the same process of sketch, coloring and shaping edges, with the Silky Hair brush into soft wavy volume, and switch for the Wavy Lock brush to color the bangs, using single strokes for a separate thin strands and going back and forth for a thicker appearance. Using the same brush but in a larger size and darker color, we can add more depth to the roots and under the curtain bangs to define their shape with shadow. Finally, use both Silky Hair and Wavy Lock brushes with a lighter, brighter shade to add highlights following the shape of the haircut. This short bob is colored with a medium brown and the edges are defined with the darker color, leaving the medium brown as a highlight. This is a tip for a quick coloring of the short straight hair like this. The only thing left is to apply the highlight. You can use a shade of red and pinks to bring out the color undertone of the brown. And the last approach can be started with applying color with the oil gesture painting brush, which has a soft hair-like edge, and further define the strands with a Wavy Lock brush. Then, apply the light with a Silky Hair brush, this time reducing the opacity halfway. The result will be an effortlessly smooth blending of colors perfect for the relaxed waves like this. The pencil brush is also great to take it further a notch and focus on a smaller, lighter highlights, blending them in the middle of the light areas to add texture and shine. The last 4 techniques for African hairstyles such as afro, textured crop, cornrows, locks, or braids. For the afro, start outlining the shape with pencil. Tilting your Apple pencil will result in more texture to the stroke as opposed to the clean line when holding it straight. Pick a powder fade chalk in a dark gray color just a shade lighter than black to fill in the entire area. To maximize texture and make it less flat, add light to the hair volume with Wavy Lock's brush, moving in a way to draw small waves. You can mix in the black to blend it in and look more natural. To create the Duke haircut, begin with a well-defined shape of the sides with pencil and use light hatching to fill it in, leaving a very clean, crisp edge. Use the powder fade charcoal like before to add the mass of hair on top, and if you want to make the edges more defined into locks, use a Wavy Lock brush. drawing a tight coils on the edges. Make it look natural by introducing diversity to the thickness, angles, and length. To bring the volume to the hair mass, add some more strokes to the middle area with a dark gray color, highlighting the edges in the front. For the cornrows style draft the separations between the braids and the skin color, and fill in the spaces between with a paintbrush or a charcoal in dark gray, forming the higher area in the middle of the edge. This time we use a Wavy Lock brush in a hair color, not for the hair, but for drawing the negative spaces and creating a natural look on the edges along each braid row. You can deepen the tone of the braid in the center with black color, and use a Braided Line brush in a dark gray running it along each braid. Such a quick and effective way to tackle this complex task. The last look is dreadlocks or braids. Pick a studio grain chalk to draw the locks achieving the required thickness. The grainy mark of this tool gives an amazing, believable texture of hair. Add highlights with a dark gray color using the same brush. The same style can be transformed to a more braided look by running a Braided Line hairbrush on top with a black color. We hope you enjoy these hairbrushes at work and will employ these techniques in your fashion projects to create something beautiful.